Good afternoon, children. My name is Satya Chaudhary, and today we'll be taking lesson first of first guide from class 10 NCERT English. Today we'll be meeting Lencho, who is a farmer. As you can see, we have a farmer over here, Lencho, who is hailing from some Hispanic country, and we have talked about farmers and their problems in another video that I posted on YouTube channel regarding what the problems did they face. So Lencho is somewhat similar to that particular topic, so you can connect to that particular chapter or that particular concept while dealing with English also. Now to tell you brief about the story, first of all you have to read the story. You can download the story, you can download the chapter from Google. You can Google up, you can download those PDF lessons and you can read. So first of all I want all of you to read the chapter and then come clear with all the concept, the storyline, how the plot is going, how is the beginning, the middle and the climax of this particular story. Now this particular story is a comical and an ironical one. Now this is also a satire on the society that we have and how people think. And this story is particularly, the main undercurrent of the story is faith in God. So Lencho is a farmer who is pretty simple. He is living in he's having a plot of land where he has his maize crops. So and he's living with his family in that particular piece of land. Now, being a poor farmer, he wishes that it rains during that particular point of time, because his crops were getting dry and they wanted some water. So he wanted that it should rain, and he was delighted. His family, his sons, his children and wife were delighted to see the dark clouds coming into the sky, and the weather becoming darker and darker. So they felt joy, they felt bliss at last that yes, now it is going to rain. But then again, when it started to rain, the rain were as big as coins, and then again with those raindrops, hailstorms, we have hail, which is just small snowballs. They started to fall from the sky. Now, when these hailstorms fell from the sky, they destroyed all of Lencho's crops. He was totally sad, distraught, and he had no idea what to do. But he was a simpleton. He had faith, and most of all, he had faith in God. So he wrote a letter to God and posted it. So it is bizarre. It cannot be normal situation. So any simple person can do a thing like this. So he came up with this problem. He wrote down his problem. He mentioned that his crops were destroyed due to hailstorm, and he demanded some financial aid that was around 100 pesos from God. He asked for the money for the survival of his family for the rest of the year. So that was the amount that he needed. Now, when he posted that letter, the letter went to the postmaster, to the post office, and everybody laughed at it, because again it was a very bizarre thing to do. It was unusual. So again, the postmaster, first of all, he was amused by that letter, but later on he was amazed by the faith that Lencho had in God. He was amazed by how a person like Lencho was so simple that he treated God as somebody physical and somebody who would solve his problems directly. So what the postmaster decided to do? Postmaster decided to help Lencho by collecting some money. So he also gave some part of his salary. He also urged his colleagues and his the workers working beneath him to give up some part of their salary to help Lencho. We are doing it right now, right? People are helping other people in this particular situation during this COVID lockdown, right? So then again, the postmaster did a very humane thing and he helped Lencho with some money. But the problem was that he was able to only get only 70 pesos. He could only manage that amount, and he posted it back. Now, when Lencho got this money, first of all, he read that letter and then he was quite sad again. He felt sad, he felt angry. Now, why did it happen? He thought that now, since he is mentioning all the problem to God, so God would help him in any case and with the requisite amount that he mentioned. But then Lencho got only 70 pesos. So he thought that the post office and the post office worker and the postmaster has stolen the rest of the money, that is 30 pesos. So he wrote a letter again to God. He mentioned that God, please send me the rest of the money, and please next time don't send it by post, as this postmaster and the post office officials are crooks. They are thieves. They have stolen my money. So that is quite amusing. This is the irony over here. Irony, as we have taken up in the previous chapter, in the previous video, that irony is something that is something about to happen and the opposite happens. So the people who helped him, they were termed as crooks instead by Lencho. But then again, it was not his fault. He was quite simpleton. He did not have the aptitude to think in a more clever manner. So because we can say he's a farmer, or he's coming from a very menial background. So this is the summary of that particular chapter. You can go through it, but first of all, I would like all of you to read the chapter. Then again, I would like to connect my chapter to your geography lesson, that is agriculture. So you have in that agriculture chapter, you have the growing condition for maize, right? So the hailstorm destroyed all the maize crops that Lencho had. So I would like you to write a biography. This will be a creative assignment for you as well. So I want you to write an autobiography of a maize plant. So in that maize plant autobiography, what you have to do, you have to imagine that you are the maize plant, and then you are describing all the conditions for your growth. I want this, so that will be in the I format. That pronoun is to be you, because you are writing an autobiography. So now when you are writing this autobiography, so you can take the input from your SST chapters, where you can take all the growing conditions. So I am linking this chapter with that chapter in agriculture from geography class 10th NCERT. Then again, we have a very beautiful quote over here. Faith is like Wi-Fi. You all know what Wi-Fi is? It is invisible, but it has the power to connect you to what you need. So Lencho thought that God is physically present somewhere, and he would help him indeed with all the money that he required. But then again, we all know that God works in mysterious ways. God has his own instruments. So, and he did indeed help in a way Lencho, but then Lencho could not figure it out. The only thing that he could figure out was that his money was missing, and for that he blamed the post office staff and the postmaster. So then again, he required the help from God, that this money is short and I would like to have more money. So some beautiful questions that are coming around in this particular chapter that are asked in the class 10th board examinations. First of all, you have to draw a character sketch. When you are writing character sketch, you have to describe how Lencho is, how did he behave, how did he react. So all those things you have to write. Character sketch we have been doing in your previous classes as well. So you have, that is an important question over here. Then again, in 8 marks question, that is in the part C, in section C of your paper, we have 8 marks questions. So one 8 marks question that can come from this particular chapter is this. You can also do it as a second assignment in this particular chapter. The assignment is as follows. You are the postmaster and you have read the second letter sent by Lencho. So now when Lencho sent the second letter to God, so again obviously the letter will be read by the postmaster. So he knew that now Lencho is thinking that that God has not cheated, but indeed the post office staff is cheating on him. So write a letter back to tell him about the missing 30 pesos. Now this is a very crucial question. See, the postmaster is a good man, and first he was amused, but on the second instance he thought to help Lencho because he had unshakable faith in God. So he would like that man. He would not like that man to be stripped of his faith. So now this will be a very critical and creative thinking question, CCT, that will be coming up in this particular chapter, that you are the postmaster. Again Lencho is writing a second letter, and where he has termed you as a thief. Now what will we do? So this will be an ethical dilemma for you. So handle it very carefully. The answer should be creative. Okay, and you have to find a solution also for these missing 30 pesos. You have to provide an explanation. So if I would like to give you some points, the first thing that you have to consider in this particular question is that would you like to strip Lencho of his faith? in order to clarify your image? Secondly, would you take the blame and give, and you would like to give 30 pesos by somewhere, by by some or the other means? Or thirdly, you will come clean with Lencho and you will say, you will describe to Lencho that yes, we are indeed instruments of God. So you have to come up with some alternate way to explain this 30 pesos and to keep Lencho's faith in God as well. Okay, so you have to take care of this. This is the timeline. Heavy hailstorms which destroyed the crops. Lencho sent a letter to God demanding some aid from God, some monetary aid, and that was 100 pesos. You have to remember this amount. Postmaster collects the money. Postmaster reads that letter and he collects the money to keep Lencho's faith. This is again very, very important. Lencho got 70 pesos, but he was sad and angry. He was distraught. And then Lencho rewrote a letter to God demanding money, but not sent it through post, as they were crooks. And they here are the post office staff and the postmaster. So you have to clear the image. Second character sketch that comes in this particular chapter is that of the postmaster. So you are the postmaster. The third question I would like to give you in this particular chapter. Again, creative and critical thinking, that comes from 8 marks. You are the postmaster. You can write either a diary entry or you can also write a letter, okay, to your friend. So that can come in any format. So let's stick with diary entry. You are the postmaster and you describe the events that happened to you today. That means you received a letter addressed to God. You wrote that letter and you felt moved inside that yes, a man such as Lencho is so simple, he is so pious that he had so great faith in God that he demanded the money right away by writing a letter. So then again he had that unshakable faith that yes, if I am addressing my problem to God, then God would positively and affirmatively handle the situation and indeed help me in return. So then again you have to write in this diary entry how you felt, how you handle that situation, and in future what will you do. Okay, that will be the end of the diary entry. Okay. Then again this question becomes very, very important. This is again one of the creative and critical thinking skills. So I would like you to link this chapter with agriculture. The first assignment is that of autobiography of a maize crop, the growing condition, etc. And the second linkage that we have established over here is with critical thinking and creative thinking. Now see students, when we are dealing with such creative and critical thinking, you have to think interdisciplinary. You have to be multidimensional in your approach. Now multidimensional means you have to pick up the concepts from other subjects as well. English and Hindi, you can pick up those concepts in a very beautiful manner. Let's take a very small example. I'll make a separate video on section B regarding writing portion in board examinations. Now when you're dealing with writing section, especially with article and report, what you have to do is you have to think interdimensionally and you have to develop a wholesome approach to your article. Now let's take example, you must have written an essay on cow. Let's take this example. You are writing an essay on cow. Now as a child, as a second, third, fourth grader, you must have written the cow as a domestic animal. It has 4 legs, 2 horns, 2 eyes, right? So it gives us milk, etc., etc. Now as a class 10 student, just imagine what will you write in this particular topic. Suppose you are writing it for 150 to 200 words. How will you deal with this particular topic? Will you write the same thing? No, you cannot. So you have to be multidimensional in your approach. So the first thing, my trick over here in writing good articles and writing good reports is to start from history. Give an introduction. So you have the 3 parts. You have the introduction, you have the body, and then you have the conclusion or the inference, right? So for introduction part, start with history. Suppose let's say cow. So cow was revered in the Indus Valley civilization. Cow is an integral part of the Indian culture. So start with that. So start from history, that 5,000 years back or so and so Indus Valley civilization, and then describe small details, and then how cow is an integral part of the Indian household. Then secondly, then come to the next paragraph, that is the main body. In that main body, talk about the economic significance. The cattle being an economic significance in the Indian economy. Then you can talk about some social issues as well. We have cow lynching. Right, we had cow lynching in India, so that was again a very sad and very unfortunate incidents that happened. So you can talk about those. Then you can talk about You can take some examples from history, from civics and economics also. Like we in that chapter in agriculture, I talked about the Gokul scheme. You can talk about that also. So and then at the conclusion, you can also talk about some the connectivity that cow has, the religious things that cow has, the status that cow enjoys in India. So you can also discuss about the problem of stray cows. You can also discuss the problem about cows eating those poly bags and dying of it. So that is again a very sad and a dismal picture in the society. So when you're writing all these things in a cow, an essay which is titled as cow, your essay will be complete as a 10th grader. So I would like you to now what we have done over here is we have integrated all the subjects. We have taken history, we have taken geography, we have taken civics, we have taken social issues, we have taken economics. So our chapter or our topic will be completed as a whole. So I would like you to develop this habit in whatever chapter you are doing. In my school, what I do is I interlink all these subjects. I try to align my chapters with other subjects as well. So that is how we do. So this chapter is basically aligned with geography, which is agriculture. So don't forget to write all these things and give me the feedback. How did you feel? I would even like you to post some of these creative and critical thinking questions on YouTube comments as well. So your comments will be welcome. I'm looking forward to it. Have a happy learning, all of you, and enjoy.